In this exercise, we're going to talk about bringing the two together. We talked about stuff in the browser. We've talked about stuff in the window. Let's talk about how we work with those two together a little bit. We've already been able to see how if you're patterning or if you're mirroring something, you can come over here and you can hold down Shift. You can select these things. But you'll also notice as I go down through here and I hover over this, it'll highlight it in red. And if I select it, it'll highlight it in blue in this case. See there? You can get everything at once. If I need to find this, I don't know what it is, I can say find in window and it'll zoom to it. And vice versa, if I highlight it in the window, it highlights in the browser. If I have my selection at part priority, I can actually select that, right click on it, say find in browser, and it will go into that subassembly and figure out where it is. Right click, find in browser, you can see there where it is. Go into this subassembly here, right click, say find in window, and you can see it's showing it to me. Now, in this case, I can't see it because this is turned off, so maybe I need to select this, turn this off. Now I can see that bearing. That's what I was looking for, but that case was hiding it. So I was able to turn that off, and now I can actually see that bearing and know what to do with it. If I select more than one, select multiple objects here, I right click, find in browser. See, it's not going to move on me. So if you do use find in browser, I suggest you just do one item at a time. It'll zoom right to it, highlight it for you. It now does this in the bill of materials as well. So if I select on the bill of materials, I can come in here and select objects, and you'll see that it actually selects them in here. If I select them in the screen, it'll select it in the bill of material for me. We've not gotten into this a whole lot yet, but we will later on. So it is important to know that you can select objects in the bill of material and see what it is, or see it in the bill of material if you select it over here. Once again, this is pretty straightforward. Most of this you can find by just clicking around. I do want you to know that it is important to know how to do this, and it is as simple as it sounds. When in doubt, right click, click on things, play with it, see what you can do. If you do turn something off, you have to find it in the browser to turn it back on. So for instance, I've turned this cover off and I have no earthly idea where that cover is. It's going to take me a few minutes to track that down and turn it back on. But I can cheat, click on the part next to it, right click, find in browser, and there you go. It takes me to the subassembly where it's hiding. I can right click, turn the visibility back on. So if you do turn something off, the easiest way around is more than likely because I knew this door was probably made with the body of it, or if you know something was put in about the same time, pick the thing next to it and you could track it down. When you get into hundreds or thousands of parts, doesn't matter if you created them or somebody else, it's very hard remembering what everything is. So you do have to get good with these filters and selections and going back and forth between the model and the window screen, or the modeling environment here and the actual browser over here. Get used to jumping back and forth. You're going to be doing this a lot. It's very important to take note of what's going on in the browser as you're doing stuff in the screen or in the working area over here. Be able to go back and forth. It sounds simple, but a lot of people forget about it. They get tunnel vision and they get lost. So play with jumping back and forth. Get used to going back and forth. And know that it is important that you do jump back and forth between the two environments.